Hey everybody, clearing. All right, we are gonna dive into what does God, the universe, creator, source want you to know about your connection at this time. What is being cleared from your connection to make way for the new? So we're gonna look at what's being cleared. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for my beautiful viewer? What they need to know about their love connection? What is being released? What is no longer needed? And what is it that's coming in to give them hope and progress and advice for my viewer? Shuffle every day, I'm shuffling. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've remembered that one. You're welcome. Okay, here we go. So what does my viewer most need to release about the conscious awareness of the connection in general? Princess of Swords, Princess of the Rushing Winds. I'm just taking about needing it to move faster than it is or move ahead quickly. Really look at these connections in terms of lessons learned, awarenesses gained, epiphanies had, that kind of a thing. And let go of a timeline that says they need to get somewhere fast or look a certain way, or there's a time limit that it's running out of time. Drop that, and what shall we bring in instead? Ooh, King of Wands, spiritual embodiment, mastery of sexual energy, composure. So instead of rushing, this is literally my monogamous, spiritually realized chieftain kind of leader, masculine energy. And so instead of rushing, viewer, realize that this is the embodiment of tantric mastery and that you can't rush that process. There are very particular experiences that need to happen to bring this qualification into the connection. Discernment of energies, knowing when the alchemical process has struck a balance. This really is the masculine in the connection, whether that's you, viewer, or you're watching for a masculine, coming into their sexual maturity on an energetic level. Advice for my viewer. Six of Pentacles. This is a card of giving to something and then something else not being afforded the same thing. There's not enough to go around, or giving to things that we don't want to be giving to instead of things that we would rather give to. So the advice here, viewer, is first off to withdraw your energy from things that you have no desire to positively reinforce. If you're focusing your energy on certain things and you don't want that, it's like praying for what you don't want. If you continue anyways to give to that kind of a dynamic or situation, you're essentially growing more of that because you're focused on it. So this is a reminder not to cut corners or settle, and to really hold out for your highest standards, what will truly make you happy, that you don't have to settle. You don't have to feel like there's an energy of there not being enough to go around as well. There's no rush, there's no hurry. The wait will be worth it. So this is also giving me the impression, viewer, that you've wondered if your person is giving to other situations instead of your connection, if they haven't fully come forward in this embodied version yet. And this is sort of saying, if so, then it's a developmental stage, but not to adopt that idea that they are giving to other things. It's secondary if they are right now. Primary is them somehow coming into this maturity. I'm getting another message that it's not necessarily about you in this sense, viewer, or your worthiness to be given love. It's more about allowing for the sovereign process of your person to come into their full maturity so they can actually give you what you deserve and need rather than scraps. What can we see for how my viewer needs to release it, or what my viewer needs to release about their person? The Great One of the Nighttime, the universe. This is also the World card. So letting go of the obsession that they have to be the one, that you are fixated, that they're your everything. And instead bringing the energy back to you and how you feel, how whole you feel. What is it that can come in the place? The release of control issues and ease can come in. Not needing to micromanage something outside of yourself, but being able to drop into what feels right. Not spreading yourself too thin, grasping or focused on things outside of your control. What is the advice? Page of Cups, surrendering. That doesn't mean conceding. It means being at peace where you are, how you are, right now. And finding some gratitude, really deep gratitude for exactly where you're at on your journey and what is unfolding exactly at this moment. What can we see for how the viewer is being guided, or what the viewer is being guided to let go of on the heart space about the connection? Well, we have the death energies, child of the great transformers in the inverse. So this is like saying, letting go of the idea that there are beginnings and endings. And instead seeing everything as it works together. So releasing that idea that things are fini once and for all, and instead surfing the change, knowing that every time something changes up, it's actually an answer to prayer, not fearing death or annihilation, giving trust where trust is due. If you're in a connection where it keeps deepening and coming back around, don't gaslight yourself by saying, oh no, this is it, this is finally it. Trust that if it's relevant to you and of benefit, it will not be over. What's coming in that energy's place? Doing more of the inner work to match that new version of what you are desiring. So when things fall away, when things come together, it's a catalyzing event in aligned connections. In karmic connections, it can be binding and enmeshing and cause more codependency. With aligned connections, we catalyze each other and give each other the seeds for the new work. What is the advice for my viewer? Ooh, the Artist. This is a card in this deck that is an ascended energy. It's beyond the world card. So this is a living, breathing instrument of creation into the world. So if you do the inner work, viewer, you're stepping into art, being art as a way of life, living the Tao, being in that creative expression. But it does require you to be objective about these so-called beginnings and endings in your storyline and to really see how they lend themselves to each consecutive lesson or experience, that it's a continuity. And when you can see that flow, it's like singing a melody and not being able to string notes together. It's very broken and scattered if you can't carry a melody through the notes. So too is being a living, breathing work of art. You're carrying this continuity through the moment-to-moment awarenesses and actions. So this is that level of flow that's emerging by being able to surf through the changes, the kaleidoscope. Change is the only constant. What can we see for the heart space? What is my viewer being guided to release on their heart? Trying to manipulate. This is the Magician in the inverse, which is my card of actively trying to control outcomes. So letting go of needing it to be or look a certain way or behave in a certain way, and really just allowing what is there to be in the energy and observing it for what it is. So letting go of needing to premeditate, needing to make something conform to an expectation, needing something to live up to a certain outcome. What's coming in instead? Positive storylines and seeing the love in everything that has happened. So not condemning ourselves for wanting to create certain outcomes, but seeing the benefit of what has transpired regardless of whether those outcomes were created or not. And having gratitude. So we've got gratitude again in hindsight. For everything that has happened, I say thank you. And everything that will come, I say yes. So instead of trying to force everything or anything, it's a radical acceptance of what has been through the lens of gratitude and appreciation. What is the advice? Oh, your union is coming. It's en route. It may not be fully here right now, but through the lens of gratitude and appreciation, you will have a higher insight into what sorts of things you would prefer to experience, and therefore setting your focus on the things that feel good to you. It's more about the feeling than the visual or the surface level of what rolls out. It's how does it feel to you? Does it feel aligned? You can have anything that's good on paper, and as most of us know, it may not feel fulfilling unless it's also giving you that feeling. I fought back a yawn. Sorry, everyone. What can we see for the manifestations, or about the theme of manifestation that my viewer is letting go of? Lord of abandoned success. So letting go of giving up. If at first you don't succeed, try again. So this is about being wild, wacky, crazy, and you unapologetically. That doesn't mean harming anybody or, overstepping boundaries and intentionally being inconvenient and belligerent or, whatever. This means legitimately letting go of anything that doesn't serve, but not taking a defeatist attitude, not seeing things as not worth going for. So this is letting go of the idea that it has to come easy or quickly, that energy again here. I'm hearing also second chances and revisiting the idea that there wasn't abandonment, that the success that is available in these connections needed spaciousness and pause or an ebb and flow in order to fully mature. And so we're letting go of the idea that it was all lost in some past experience here, and that it was actually, in fact, a natural process of the becoming of trust and relationship and love. What's coming in that space? Humility, strength, overcoming devil energy, not twisting the storylines and making it a dead end story, but seeing the resilience come through. What is the advice? Oh, turn your frown upside down. Don't make mountains out of molehills. This heartache card here, possibly third-party situations, that kind of thing. We're being asked not to perpetuate this or prolong this heartache or delve into it and fixate on it. Acknowledge it, but also know that sometimes there's a season for certain things, and we're not meant to deepen and go forward with connections when mind, body, and soul, intellect, conscious thoughts aren't aligned. And so sometimes they can't come in because some component is not yet fully brought into alignment. So this is saying, don't perpetuate the illusionary heartache if things haven't come together more easily so far. Really humble yourself and slow down and see the aspects that still need to be trued and allow that process. But it doesn't mean you're not worthy of love. Doesn't mean you've missed out on love. Doesn't mean your chances are gone. Doesn't mean this connection is over. It just means that there is a kaleidoscope of different experiences as we navigate the path, the journey to union. And that some of those are together and some of those are independent in the physical. What can we see for the actions? What is my viewer meant to be releasing regarding action? Okay, we have the High Priestess. So actually letting go of the idea that you're not meant to do anything, that you're meant to sit and wait and, just receive. This release is indicating it's time for you, viewer, to take, I saw 1717, some action, to act on your heart's knowing, to position yourself in a position of readiness for what you are desiring, to come out of silence possibly. What is the emerging? Okay, so justice on the table. So justice is coming in, and that does require you, viewer, to come out of stillness and into action here. So there's something that you are going to be needing to do, viewer, that's bringing in your love relationship and justifying the readiness for your love relationship, and that may not directly relate to your love relationship. So this is legal matters, finances, you name it, whatever you've got on your plate, it's time to take action for those things and finalize those things so that the slate is clear, you're not distracted, and you're actively making room for your union in your life. So this is where you are a conscious co-creator of your union by being diligent to do the things you're guided to do in the name of readying yourself, putting yourself in position for that which you are asking for. It doesn't just fall on your lap. You also have to make space on all levels for the new coming in, which requires you to come out of non-action and activate in some way right now. Don't just be busy for busy's sake. I'm being told that if this message is for you, you will know the things that you will need to tackle or face at this time. What is the advice? Four of Cups. Yes, this is what brings in another chance, another return of what you're asking for. What is the biggest challenge for my viewer? Ace of Wands, passionate new beginning, the sensual desire. This is the phallic card, most phallic card in the deck. So there is Some might not be feeling the zing for their counterpart. Some might be feeling it beyond what is available or appropriate right now. So it's kind of letting go of being concerned about whether or not you are overly feeling it or not feeling it enough, and to just continue to stay focused on what it is that you are clearing in your life right now to ready yourself for the connection. What's coming in bit by bit, I'm seeing gold coins raining from heaven. The Two of Pentacles here are things coming in one by one. So I'm seeing that your abundance is going to come in one bit at a time across the board, across your land. Things are very soon going to start accumulating blessing. What is the advice for my viewer? Listen to higher guidance. That will poise you ready, willing, and able in the right scenarios at the right time. Follow that guidance right now. This is also stay true to your spiritual awareness. Oh, I'm really fighting the odds. Sorry, everyone. So about these passionate new beginnings, about your standards, really listen to your righteousness at this time, about what your heart is telling you, viewer, because you may need to set some healthy boundaries as you walk that tightrope of love of self and other, so you don't compromise yourself or lose yourself, and you really express higher truth, even if it, is a slow, gradual unveiling. Stay true to yourself and your knowing. What is the solution to this challenge? Letting go of oppression. So as we really look at what we're feeling one way or the other, what is sitting well with our soul to lean into and to step back from, the solution is to eliminate oppression. This is the way that we eliminate external oppression, is to not align ourselves with paradigms, thoughts, or scenarios that are compatible with perpetuating external binding. So if we listen to our instincts and don't say yes when we mean no and no when we mean yes, we avoid quite a bit of that external pressure or duty or promise that we would otherwise engage with that our heart isn't in. What comes in instead? Inner peace, solace. The Five of Wands is a card of too many karmic energies being involved. In the inverse, it's like a cocoon. We have peace, we have solace. What is the advice for my viewer? Judgment. So this is having your eyes open to the truth of things. That's done when we go to and remember to run all of our awarenesses and our choices through a higher guidance. This is its own reward because it averts danger. Our intuition knows, our heart knows ahead of what our rational mind can discover. Our heart can already feel way ahead of the interpretation our mind can piece together after the fact. Our heart is the seat of being able to feel into the potentials and probabilities as to whether those things will be beneficial or not. And so this is the solution, is to follow the heart and to honor what the heart is feeling, and to go towards that even before it makes sense and away from the things that cause heartache. What can we see for the direction in the near future? What are we going to be letting go of? We're going to be letting go of justice not being fully here. So we saw this coming in, we saw justice coming in, and that we have to focus on balancing those real world circumstances out before we can fully embrace and enjoy these love connections. But in the near future, that will be accomplished. This lack of justice will be eliminated. What will be coming in instead? Queen of Cups, more of an activated intuition that chooses more wisely, that doesn't repeat history in a negative sense. It's its own protection, I just heard. And what is the advice? As you continue to align with your deepest truth and make your choices based on your intuitive knowing, this is the prerequisite that spins the wheel of fortune, that brings you your abundance. You must be in alignment to recognize and be receptive to that which is for you, your blessing, your abundance, your higher timelines, and your unions, your love. Okay, let's get one of these cards for advice. What can we see for my collective? Sanctuary. Go inward. Allow yourself to slow down. Yeah, we're eliminating rushing. Practice being rather than doing. Take time to rest and refill, and you are safe. So yeah, everybody, you are safe. You are safe. Really rest at this time in that safety. Instead of allowing your mind to spiral and make you feel like you've got to say or do things, drop into the safety and just imagine that whatever your fears are unnecessary, and that you're safe to just rest right now. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.